Hello, good morning. Are you going to be up here or what? Oh my goodness. You kill me. Orzo is right underneath you. You can't be doing this right now. Good morning. Welcome to my house. This is Jameli, for those of you that may not know. Orzo is beneath her, you giant girl. Do you mind? No, you don't. Why would you mind? We taught you nothing of boundaries. No one is trained. So it's really our fault more than anything. And you yawn. I know. I love you too. Sorry, Zoe. I don't know if you can see them, but ta-da. Look at Orzo. He's had it. He's like, I can't. These are my children. Anyway, start the live off with chaos, right? Anyway, welcome to it. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. It is Sunday afternoon for me. It is 12 noon Eastern Sunday. It is Dear Madam Adam live. Welcome to it, everybody. We've got some emails to answer. Might take some calls if people are interested. You can also text the number provided at any point in time during the live. I believe it's in the description, I think, if I'm not mistaken. You let me know. But yeah, the live schedule is going to be funky for a little while. There's a lot of exciting and fun things going on over here. So yeah, my husband and I are going on a New York trip that started out as a fun trip and then turned into a work trip that is now a fun work trip. So yeah. It is in the description. Fantastic. So I'm not taking calls right now. So if you do call, you are more than welcome to leave a voicemail if you don't want to have a live chat. If you just want to like ask me a question, you can leave a voicemail. You can text if you would like, or you can write in to dearmadamadam@gmail.com. I do have a few of those to do this morning, afternoon, evening, whatever time it is for you in the world. I know you hear noises. I know. I think they're hip to the idea that me and Dustin are leaving. Orzo's been really clingy. But I also think he has an ear infection, which he has a vet appointment this week anyway. So, which that was something I wanted to talk to you guys about while I shuffle for a little bit and get these emails set up. How much do you give like the balance and equilibrium of day-to-day stuff? You know what I mean? Like I feel that like of course Orzo is gonna have these classic Frenchy issues flaring up right now that are going to cost money and be a wrench in the system a little bit here for a few days, while we are going on this big trip and we're going to be gone for like a week and a half, 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? So like how much of that is like, well, of course, because like great things are happening. There's going to be a balance of like hiccups that we have to anticipate. How much do you like take stock in everything means something? You know what I'm saying? How much of it is like, well, shit happens, but like, is it shit happens only because you don't want it to mean something? Or like, do you know what I mean? How much of that do you take with you? How much of that do you think is like, well, of course, it doesn't mean anything, but it is a part of the balance. It is a part of the equilibrium of things that kind of have to like ensue, right? I know it's too early for this shit and I've got coffee, but like, do you know what I mean? Are you both looking out the window? Y'all are so cute. I want to know your thoughts. I think that it's partially like a great way for, I mean, I think that's what faith is, right? I think that's what faith is. I think that a lot of it is like knowing that it's not all grand design, but to me, grand design is balance and equilibrium. Christina writes, I like to think that the hiccups make aware make aware to enjoy the good times to the fullest. Yeah. Yeah. But do we think that that's like because my thought of like equilibrium and balance is that like for all of the energy going in that direction, there has to be equal energy going in this direction. So of course there's going to be some like chaotic hiccups along the way, because these things, like God forbid it goes perfectly, like it's never going to go perfectly. There's going to be something along the way that like puts it in balance, you know what I mean? But I don't know. It's just, and that's when I was like, am I reading too much into this? Like, how much shit do we have to read into? Chaotic hiccups as learning opportunities. Yeah. It just gets rolled into the logistics of the whole trip. Not you using my own shit against me. How dare. How dare. Right. And that's what I mean. That's when we're like, okay, it doesn't have to mean anything. It can literally just be logistics that we have to handle on our way to New York. We have to do these things. We have to do the classic Frenchie shit, you know? Can we find a comfortable position? Because like I'm not even sitting in my own chair right now. I know it's your house and I'm just living in it and I just pay for it, but like can we Miss Girl, Princess Ma'am, can we move? Can I sit? Thank you. Like an arrow, we have to be pulled back in order to fly forward. Sometimes it's easy, sometimes we need more strength to pull through the hindrances. True. On the other hand, if there are a chain of bad things, it could be a warning. Yes. I don't know. I don't think a chain of bad things is necessarily a warning, because what if that chain of bad things is purposefully put on you by someone else's selfish intentions? You know what I'm saying? So like I guess it all is circumstantial. It all depends. Thank you, girl, for getting comfortable. Yeah. Don't sigh. She's so dramatic. The answer is both. No, yes, absolutely. Multiple things can be true at the same time. We acknowledge, we agree. But I'm just like, you know, I think I personally have a hard time letting bigness be bigness, because large abundance, I have a hard time letting big shit be big shit to me, because I know I don't want it to have these big equal and opposites, I think. You know what I mean? I have a hard time. Well, and I don't want it to give me huge anxiety. That's a lot of it too, is that the things that are happening are like kind of big, and they're not kind of big, they're huge. And like now there's, you know, more people involved, and the way that people are the way that people are talking about the opportunities is not as, I'm not talking about them as big as they are. So it's like, oh shit, now I'm scared. You know what I mean? It's a whole thing. Chain of bad things to help make you appreciate shit more. Absolutely. Yeah. So that's what I mean. And that's been my cerebral process this morning, is being like, well, I'm also highly anxious about everything happening, but it's also in a place, physically in a place, where Dustin and I have planned to have fun, to see people. It's during our favorite time of year. Oh, look, it's raining. And it's like a nice gentle rain. Oh, that's fabulous. We'll take that as a sign. Anyway, um, it's in a great place where we've set up a lot of fun things for us to do. A lot of, people that we want to see. So there's a lot of love there as well. We're staying at a place that we're familiar with. And all of the stress is good stress, So, and that's why I think, like, of course, there's going to be these like small little hiccups, because, all of the stress that we're experiencing is for like a positive endeavor. So hiccups are just the logistics, but you have to kind of begin, not, you don't have to, but I begin with the neurotic, anxious, like, oh my God, what does this mean? And that's why I was asking, like, how much do you like give symbolism to things in your life? It's kind of like, after you leave church, how Christian are you, I guess, like outside the doors. So on top of, like, equilibrium and balance, how much do you think like things mean something? And we always say, like, not everything has to mean something, but is that only when you don't want it to? Yeah, no, I fully agree. Orzo's going to have the specifics of the issues are not what I think is the balancing act. I think it's the fact that there are issues. Like, of course, that's just how they manifested. But I agree, logistics. But how much do you think like stuff means something? How far do you take that personally? Because I like to say that, like, I don't think everything means something, but in my head, everything means something. You know what I mean? So I talk a big shit, but the Pisces in me is like, but it's terrible. But what does it mean? Morning thoughts, On Sundays, you guys get my morning shit. Dustin gets a break. I don't think everything means something, because if I do, then as an overthinker, I lost my 3 days of sleep. Yes. However much you feel the need to, right? So is it literally just faith, right? Is it just kind of like just faith, right? That's our own relationship to our subconscious, to our sense of spirituality or religion or whatever that is, that it's just a kind of, it depends on your how far you lean into faith in something. Yes, no? Because then I would say, kind of going back to the beginning of all of this, that like I have a lot of faith in balance. I have a lot of faith in equilibrium and karma. Not like they'll get theirs, but like justice is a bitch and can be, you know? Um, and also like things having meaning accordingly. When I get wild cyclonic hiccups during having dinner, I think my hiccups don't like me to eat and live. Yes. What do the hiccups mean? See, yeah, that's what I mean. I don't go that far. I get terrible, like, diaphragm flipping, painful hiccups as well, but I don't think that means anything necessarily. I think I just must have swallowed air or something and ow, I must have drank something with bubbles. You know what I mean? But yeah, I think it's faith based. I think it's faith based and also circumstantial. But I don't know. These are just these have been my morning thoughts. I hope you enjoyed. But life just happens and how you deal with it is your choice. Right. Right. That part. But we give so much symbolism to things, you know, as people. We give so much symbolism to stuff. So that's why, you know, got to take Orzo to the vet. We're leaving this week. So we got to take him before we go. Whatever maintenance has to happen on him has to be minimal because we're not going to be home for much longer to like make sure he's okay, right? And then and then you know the two other dogs, and then we also have to clean the house. We have to get ready to go. We have to pack. There's a Halloween party in 2 weeks. That's a big fucking deal. So that has to happen. My a good friend of ours has volunteered to do prosthetics and makeup for us for the party. So she's coming over. So we're meeting with her professionally to get that started and going and talked about, and very excited about that. But also there's fun things happening. You know what I'm saying? Like we're going to see Cabaret. We're going with Adam Lambert. We're going to see Death Becomes Her. I want to go see The Outsiders. There's all this fun stuff as well. And then we're going to Jersey as well for the Para-Unity Expo, the first weekend of Jersey. So there's 2 opportunities, by the way, to see me in the coming weeks. It's on the website. So make sure you check that out. But yeah, it's not like, you know, anticipating problems all the time, but it's kind of, I guess, my way of accepting them and not taking them so personally is having faith that it's a natural, like, you know, it's a natural reassessing of the scales because there's gotta be, it's not that it's just not that there has to be, but in my head, it's like, well, of course there's gotta be, like, duh, right? So you can assign meaning to anything and you can also divorce meanings from things. I fully agree. Well, if there's anything we all could agree during this live is that we all agree that we think tarot has meaning. So we're going to get started with some card reads. So thank you for coming to my weird, probably overly thought-provoked morning chit chat. But yeah, thanks for the listen. This one, I need I need a book for, and I'm almost afraid to move because you guys are going to move if I move. Post supermoon chats, you know what I'm saying? Absolutely. Okay, so let me grab one of my books that I need for this chat. This rain is fab. I don't know if you guys can hear that or not, but the sound is stellar. All right. This one is from Stella. This one says, Dear Madam, my partner and I follow you and love you so much. She has a question, but first, here's a little backstory. She saw a little lizard / gecko as we often do in Florida, right? Not once, not twice, but 3 times this week in one particular hallway of the school she works at. She wants to know what this means and if and to see if you and the cards have any insight about these gecko sightings. This is why I kind of also, great segue into this read. Does that mean anything? Does that have to mean anything? We live in Florida. Lizards are a norm, right? Unfortunately, some insects are also a norm in your home. No matter how clean your home can be, there still can be little critters and shit simply because we live in a tropical climate pretty close to the fucking equator. You know what I'm saying? It's just normal. It's natural. So yeah, does that have to mean anything? Seeing the same animal, any animal, in the same spot 3 times, does that have to mean anything? You know? But me being me, I'm like, yeah, of course it does. Of course it does. So here is the big book of correspondences, and we can look up lizard symbology together and see what we got, or what comes up, or what's listed here. The animal kingdom. Lizards. Yeah, lizard, gecko. Okay. Well, lizards are represented by fire, which makes sense because on the King of Wands, there's a little lizard at the bottom of the card, if you remember. Let's see. It's brow chakra, so that's fab. The sun, the direction is south. A lot of this is about dream work, divination, the mind, connecting to the other side, psychic ability, sensitivity, that kind of thing, sleep, transformation, change, consciousness. It's all very like the further is kind of how that sounds like. So lizards, as far as like intentions and issues, quote unquote, it has a lot to do with growth and change and message related to that, it seems to me anyway. Let's look for the King of Wands in the deck and see. Scared the shit out of Jameli shuffling just then. She's so skittish. Let's look for the King of Wands because they have that lizard symbology. Let's see. I can't think of any other card that has specifically like a lizard on it. You know what I mean? So if you can think of one, put it in the chat. But I don't think there's any others than the King of Wands. Yeah, the Queen has the cat. It's kind of like the King's major domo in a way. It's like this little lizard guy that's like giving advice. Kind of Grima worm tongue-ish, but like not in that gross, negative, evil, bad guy kind of way. You know what I mean? And that is Brad Dourif, my friends. That's Chucky. Crows. A lot of you have like crow language. That's cute. We love that. Very common. I see a lot of blackbirds myself in the area. I'm like, sup? There he is. So, King of Wands energy. See, so I'll show you guys on the screen here. See the little lizard down there at the bottom, little gecko guy. So I guess the symbology here is that there's an Ace of Cups. So there's like an offer, an emotional offer, a new beginning, an emotional new beginning, a need to cleanse something off of you. And if we're looking at just like the images, this is something that I'm adding now, or just something I'm noticing as well, or that I don't really do much with you all, that I do in my own, but I don't really do this with you all. But if we're noticing that like hand placement, you know, on both cards, the page is kind of like offering what they've got, which is why I'm always saying for the Page of Pentacles in particular, that you just have to bring what you have. You just have to bring what, you know, we've gone through the Ace to the 10. We've done the initial planting of the seeds. We've done the 2, 3, 4, 5 to the 10 of growth. And now we have like something to kind of show for it. So we bring that, we offer it, and then we show it to the experts, the queen and king of our suit, and then they help us grow and become a knight, and then eventually our own queens and kings, etc. So I hope that makes sense. But yeah, so these two together, the Ace of Cups is kind of like a offer as well. Like, here's a cup, here's a drink, here's an offer of emotional truth or growth, or his cups are water, intuition. Here's a message of understanding for you emotionally, and all, but you have to make an offering as well. So it's kind of giving like, we will show you things if you make an offering to us. What's the right offering? Whatever you got. You know, so it's like, if I were going to make an offering to something new, I would maybe offer tarot. That's my parlor trick. That's what I can do for you, you know? So I hope that makes sense, Stella. I think this is really interesting. We kind of connected a few different, which this is how I do my own practice, is that if I wanted to find symbolism in something I'm experiencing, I always associate it back to the cards. So I think this is my method of doing it. I bust this book out, see if there's a correlation or a correspondence to the specific thing I'm looking at or curious about, find it in the cards, and then pull a spread or what's near those cards as well. So like I did here, I went looking for this King of Wands because we were talking about lizards from the Big Book of Correspondences here. And then these two. So yeah, something spiritual wants to offer a relationship with you. A relationship of growth and understanding, but you need to bring your own offering back as well. So this is the complete book of correspondences, Llewellyn's complete book of correspondences. All right. It is super helpful, right, Cal? I think so. I think it's fun. I think it's, instead of waiting for cards to come up from the bottom, so to speak, or for them to come up randomly, you're already shuffling, or at least I already am. I'm already shuffling the house down. So why not? They're already mixed up. Why not flip it over, you know, and go looking for the ones that I'm referring to or that I'm curious about? So it kind of makes it more choose your own adventure to me. All right, let's see what else I've got here. Let's see. This one is this might be the same person, also from Stella. Dear Madam, hi, I love the Tarot 101 class last week. I had a question I forgot to ask. How do you feel about major arcana only decks? I have my eye on one right now that has been hotel themed, very cute. But I'm not sure if I should get it. Yeah, why not? I've got a few. Why not? Why not? I think that major arcana only decks yield simpler answers, but I think that they're also bigger answers. They're also larger ideas, so they can be a bit more, so that they're frustrating in that way. They can be vague, you know, because it's like, oh, temperance. It's like, okay, great. So that's like a big fancy word for balance. I wanted to know about this thing. Like minor arcana to me just help make it a bit more understandable. It helps bring the minutia. It helps bring the, it's not just nouns. You know what I mean? The minor arcana bring it adjectives and verbs and that kind of thing. So I have quite a few major arcana only decks because I just think they're fun. I collect, I mean, look behind me. I collect decks in general. And I love them. But if I wanted, if I were going to, I don't know why this just popped into my head, but if I were going to do reads for a younger crowd, like a crowd that is maybe 13 to 19, I might use just a major arcana deck. Do you understand? Is that weird? Like, I feel like it's just, it would be simpler, you know? It would be a much simpler, more understood thing. Because you don't see, like, and for that matter, why are there no minor arcana only decks? Or are those just playing card decks? Right. It put things in broad strokes. Exactly. Having the majors puts it in a bit more of broad strokes for people's comprehension. So, and I think that's why, if we're noticing from this weekend's lives, I've been using Tarot Vintage, and there's something about this deck that I am just drastically drawn to. I want it on me at all times. I put it in this bag, and sometimes I put this bag in my pocket and I carry it around. I carried this deck around during whenever me and Dustin were out during the full moon that just happened. I have this in my pocket. I had this in my bag. I wanted it to soak up full moon energy. I wanted to read people if I could, all of that. So I've been super drawn back to a Rider-Waite Smith, back to a simple deck, back to something easy to understand, something that is over 100 years old visually. These images are over 100 years old. It has this vintage look to it. I wish the cards weren't so plasticky feeling, but hopefully that'll change with time and use. But, and I also love Keymaster Tarot, my Marseille deck, don't get me wrong, but there's something about like going back to the basics of what your craft is and what you're good at that I really enjoy. But this is going to be traveling with me for sure. But major arcana decks, I think, are great. You know, I think they're really cool. I like them a lot. But like, why aren't there minor arcana decks? Because I mean, a minor arcana deck would be 56 cards. A regular playing card deck is what, 52? Because there's no There's no knights. There's no knights in a playing card deck. There's a it's Jack, Queen, King. So it's Page, Queen, King. There's no knights. But other than that, it's the same thing. That's how you read playing cards to tarot cards. You make the suits, the tarot suits, and you just go in order. So, and aces are always low in tarot. So it's swords are spades, diamonds are pentacles, hearts are cups, and clubs are wands. But there's no knights. That would make it 56. And then adding the major arcana is 78. So, but yeah, there's no minor arcana only decks. And I think that's really interesting. But The mages are what's popular and what people are more familiar with. So I think major arcana decks are really cool. I have one that's the Adams family. I have Terror Tarot as well. I just did a major arcana only deck review. Actually, I have another one that I want to do. I have a few deck reviews I'm working on making bulk content with to post while I'm on my trip. So yeah. Major Arcana decks are really cool, and I think, as I said, I would use it for a younger group to have broader strokes for them if I were doing that. What deck you'll use at the Halloween party? Well, I'm hired by Prime Video to do the Halloween party, and they have their own deck, so I'll be using their deck for the party because and it's a great deck. Honestly, it's really well thought out. The people that worked on it, they were like, props to you, because this is a lot of information and a lot of work. So thanks. I'm like, yeah, totally. But yeah, let's see what else we have up in here. I don't see any new ones up in here. Let's go to the phone. We only have a few minutes left anyway, so let's go to the phone, and I can see if there are any texts. Okay. This one. All right, here we go. We got a text message. You're welcome to text in if you would like. The number is in the description on the video. Easier than emailing, but it's the same thing, the same Dear Madam Adam. And then I'm open to taking some calls in a little bit as well. So feel free to write in for next week if you would like. I should be available if I'm not mistaken. My calendar is elsewhere. But I should be able to do my noon live on Sunday. I don't see why not. It'll just be in the hotel. So we'll see what happens. All right, so this text says, hello, Madam Adam. I hope you're well. I am. Thank you for asking. It's become quite evident that the effort I'm putting into a couple of relationships very close to me is not being matched. How can I begin to pour more focus into myself and not feel the overwhelming need to take care of others so much? Thank you. Yes. Well, first and foremost, I think that it's important that you let these people know that you are essentially kind of pulling back from the energy you're giving them. If you want any change from these people, you need to make sure that they're aware of what you're doing and why, for your sake. You know, you're going to be able to pour more focus into you. That's not going to be a problem. That's the easy part. The hard part is you dealing with people being like, what's going on? Why? What's happening? Where'd you go? You know? So begin pouring focus into yours. And it also creates accountability. If you tell the people that the effort that you're putting into the relationship is not being matched, there might be truths there that need to come out on their end also. You know, so letting people know is a great way for you to be accountable of your own feelings and actions so that you follow through on pouring into yourself, right? And also so that people have an opportunity to make change if they would like. So people have an opportunity to show you that they choose you and are willing to do so in a way that you want and deserve to be chosen. You can't accept a kind of, you know, back burner, low maintenance relationship if that's how I operate and how I do things, but that's not how you operate and do things. How am I supposed to know that if you're not letting me know? So, not feeling the overwhelming need to take care of others so much, I think, is letting other people know that you will be taking care of yourself. It's something about like externalizing it that makes it real, and it makes you have to do so now. Do you know what I mean? You're going to be an enabler. You're going to be a people pleaser and all of that, but you kind of need to use that ability to your advantage right now. Does that make sense? You got two options. You can just pull the fuck back and pour into yourself and make yourself conveniently busy and focus on those projects that you always wanted to focus on, or you can do that and like let the people that you care about know that you're gonna do that so that they can make adjustments for themselves and start to show you and start to match that effort in the relationship as well. Do you know what I mean? Or they can let you know, hey, I'm not in a place where I can give you that effort back. You know, this is why, like, we have to have the conversation. We have to talk about it. So, I didn't even pull a card. Six of Wands energy. We're talking about you and community and how you engage on it. Yeah, this calls for reflection. We need to be reflection on reflection on the relationships that you hold, right? How long has this been going on? How long have you let this go unspoken, right? Seven of Wands energy. You got to speak up. That's the best way. Take yourself seriously by speaking your piece so that you can get some truth out of this. That way you can understand, like, hey, am I like making more out of this relationship than exists right now? Or are you lazy? Do you not care about me the same way I care about you? Like, what is it? You know what I'm saying? Like, it gives us the opportunity to make amends and fix it so that you can back off and then focus on you and let people do what they need to do. All right. Fabulous. We have another email up in here. Says, hey, Madam Adam, I'd love to be a part of this morning's live. Welcome to it. Would love anything that comes through organically from you or the guides. Areas of interest for me are passion projects, love, and career. The classics. Let's see. While I shuffle, what is your morning beverage of choice? Coffee? Tea? What is it? Which is it? I was on tea for a while. Now I'm back on coffee. I have coffee in the morning and tea in the evening now as well. Is that a thing? I have my coffee in the morning, and then at the evening, in like the early evening, late afternoon, I have a tea for my to put my foot on the gas for the lives. You know what I'm saying? All right, Rihanna, darling. Let's see what we've got for you today. Ooh, Eight of Pentacles. We're going to talk about work. Eight of Pentacles. Hard work, consistent work. So we could be talking about passion projects. I mean, we talk about all three, honestly. Passion projects, love, and or career, all three. The work that you're doing on you, right? Why is this here? Temperance. We need to have a sense of balance. Basically, we need to make sure that you are enjoying the results of the work that you're doing. That is like the simplest fucking thing to say out loud, but for me personally as well, it is the hardest thing to actually do in the moment. I have the hardest time. That's why I'm in fucking therapy. That's why I'm on meds, because I can't seem to enjoy, right? Can't seem to enjoy my life. I'm always like, okay, that's done. Awesome. What's the next thing that people need from me? Even if it's like a great opportunity or something that I'm getting paid for, I'm like, okay, yeah, but like people need me to do something. You know what I mean? So I can never just sit and kind of enjoy the fact that like this is abundance and success, you know? So that's the vibe that I gather from these two cards together. The Eight of Pentacles, the try hard, the work hard, the strength that comes from doing what you do well, but at the same time we have this element of temperance. You know, we need to find a balance. We need to find rest. I had a conversation with a client yesterday about finding rewards in yourself, like structuring in the breaks so that you can live in the meantime, you know? So what else, Rihanna, my friend? Yes, Queen of Wands energy. You're allowed to make moves in silence. You're allowed to change your mind. You're allowed to go back and forth. You're allowed to you should find courage in moving independently. You should find a lot of strength in you and what you're able to do independently. So you're being protected. You're being looked after. You can stop flailing. It's fine. So where are you doing too much? And which of these three things? Where are you doing too much? Where do you need to pull back? And how you do that is literally just up to you. It's just, you got to reel it in. Okay. No one's stopping you. No one's making you, you know. I'm realizing today, this morning, that like all of my planned things are all spaced pretty well out. If I look at them properly, if I look at them on the calendar, they're all really spaced out. I know they're coming. I'm good. You know, they're all fabulous problems. So passion projects should be for a good goal. Love, great. Career, great. So like, where are the tryhards coming from and how can we balance them out? You got to be willing to make your own move and pull back where you need to. All right. I have another text. Oh, we've got a couple. Is texting easier? Do we think? Do we enjoy the text option for the reads? Are we enjoying that? I think that's really cool. Let's see what we've got here. I'm just going to do area codes because we don't know people's name. It helps you be anonymous, but also like, oh, where are you from? This is from a 503 number. Hi, Madam Adam. I found recently when I read for others, friends and family, it feels incredibly natural and fulfilling. But when I try to read for myself, I get confused. Any advice? Thanks so much. Yes, Cal. So, I mean, we all know my self-reading tactic, right? We know how that is. I read for myself in third person so that I get over my bias and the message is just what it is. You know, it just is what it is. And it allows me to talk to myself the way that I would talk to anybody else, you know? So getting confused when you're reading for yourself. What are you asking exactly? You know what I mean? It's like, what are you asking? What are the questions that you are posing for yourself? Because often when you read for others, they often have a question, or the general read finds a direction. It finds a purpose and a point, you know? So why are you reading for you? What are we reading for? What is the question? You know? So that's my method. I read for myself That's how you learn tarot, is by reading for yourself. If you cannot read for yourself, you shouldn't be reading for others. So getting confused is fine. Totally honest and fine. So my advice to you is to record yourself reading those cards in third person, like you would read for anybody else, and then listen back to it as a read for you. You know? Two of Wands energy, zoom out, see the big picture. There's got to be a simple answer to this, and I just gave you one. 10 of Pentacles energy, you're fine, you're abundant, you're doing it right. And Queen of Cups, it should be in the vein of wellness. We should make sure that your questions for you are vulnerable and self-fulfilling. Like, how can I love myself better today? That's a great question for the cards. I hope that helps. Okay, let's see. I've got, oh, hey, Madam Adam, Rihanna here. Thank you for your reading for the spooky promo. Yeah, you're very welcome. Thank you. It was really helpful to me. I'd love a reading today, but we might be at the end of the live now. No, I can totally do it. We'll pull a card or two. Nine of Cups energy for you, my friend. Rihanna, darling, where are you being stubborn right now about some things? Where are you holding on to some emotional nonsense? Expecting things to be just so. You're stronger than you. It's giving, I don't wanna, you know? That's that Nine of Cups with the strength attached to it. It's kind of giving, I don't wanna. I know I can, but I'm tired of doing it myself and I don't feel like it, blah, blah, blah. It's giving that. Six of Cups energy. Are there people around that are willing to help you? Do they express that to you? Is that where you're being stubborn? That you know, that if there is help available to you, if you'll take it, you know? Maybe that's the strength that's needed. Do with that what you will. All right, let's see here. I love this text option. This is really cute. Text, Madam Adam. Very fun. Very nice. I got to figure out if my phone number spells out something. You know, that's another thing I wanted to do. I got to look at the numbers and see what it is. Anyway, we've got a few minutes. So, hey, Madam Adam, I just had my top surgery on Thursday. Congratulations. It's been a long time coming, and I'm so happy to finally be past that last step. Just looking for some general guidance for my new / continuing journey. Thanks so much. I truly appreciate everything you do. You are very welcome. That's a huge deal. That's a huge step. Congratulations, my friend. General guidance for the new and continuing journey. Let's see what we have. Ah, yes. Things move with velocity now. Fabulous. Knight of Swords energy. Things move with velocity. There is also now room for new judgment and attacks on you as well. So don't be afraid to speak your piece and to stand in your truth now with greater strength, pride, confidence. Three of Wands energy. Now you just need a plan of what you want to do next. And along the way, we have to deal with the grief, the losses that come with your new journey. So your new / continuing journey does come with some grief. It comes with some losses. So we have to just be willing to process them as you continue to move forward. All you need is a plan for right now. Are you okay? She is snoring. Other than that, I like it. All right. We got time for a couple more. Thank you guys so much for watching, for hanging out, for listening to me rant and ramble about random things. Hey, bestie, what did the cards say? This is from a 703 number. Hey, bestie, what did the cards say about my finances? Just paid my bills, and there's a small amount left to pay for my upcoming groceries this week. Yes. Let's see what pentacles we have for you. So you've got a 5 of Pentacles here, which is like, okay, you got some hardship coming up. You've got some financial oh no happening, but you're the Empress, so you're fine. You just need to get out of your head. Dips in finances, financial hardship tends to be short-lived for you. So the Empress implies that you always figure it out. You know how to take care of yourself. You know how to prioritize wellness. You know how to find comfort. If you can get out of your head. Yeah. New emotional things, wash it off you, forgive yourself for anything that you might blame yourself for attached to this. But this is you just being really far in your head. The hardship is real, but you always figure out comfort somehow. Yeah, things are the way they are. It's a hard stop, but it doesn't really have to dictate how things go. Kind of goes back to that conversation we had at the beginning of this. How much stock do you want to take in it meaning something, you know? All right, we got time for this one. All right, hey, Adam. Recently, I had a toxic someone from my past. This is from a 630 number. Reached out to me after 10 years. This person became my own personal boogeyman, appearing in nightmares for years. Out of nowhere, they recently sent a long-winded apology letter looking for closure and forgiveness, and it stirred up a bunch of old issues I had tried to put to bed. Looking for some cards, etc., to help put things in perspective. Well, you don't have to give anybody anything. It's not your responsibility to provide closure. So there's that. If Jamie Lee Curtis was reached out to by Michael Myers and he was like, hey, sorry, girl, I want closure. She's not going to be like, oh, maybe I should give him that. No. No. Give different circumstances. I'm just saying. You said boogeyman. That's why my brain went there. But, you know. Let's see. Well, oh, whoever this is, 630, whoever you are, you seem to be a nicer person than me. You seem to be a nicer person than me. You have this Ace of Cups and you have the Sun. So it seems to give you perhaps a lot of inner peace, a lot of closure yourself to be able to offer this emotional gift to this person. But it's not without Three of Wands energy. So it comes with a lot of planning or a plan on your part for how you're going to handle any responses that come your way. Yeah, you're entitled to your stubborn. There's joy around it. But if you want, that's what I'm saying. You're nicer than me. If when I burn bridges or when people do things, they curse themselves. We need not exist. You need not exist if we don't work out. My ex took that literally. You ghosted them. That's the plan you came up with. Very nice. Simple. So yeah. You're allowed to hold your stubborn, but if you wanted to give an emotional gift to them, it would make you happy, but it doesn't have to. You don't have to do anything. Well, thank you for the live, my friends. I've had a fabulous time. I'm going to have some lunch before my clients and post some content for the day. I hope you all have a fabulous week. Tomorrow night's Monday Night Live is not happening. Dustin and I are going to Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party, doing our last kind of Halloween hurrah before we leave Orlando and go to New York on vacation. So we're going to do more spooky things, but we're doing Mickey's Not So Scary before we go. Tonight, live, 8 p.m., TikTok, Facebook, paid reads if you would like. Cameos are also just $33 still. If you want to do that, you're more than welcome. I'll be doing them throughout my trip. But keep an eye on my Instagram story so you can see when I'll be live, what's going on throughout my trip, because I do intend to go live. But yeah, keep an eye on that. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. It's been a pleasure. Truth and abundance with you guys. And I'll see you this evening on TikTok and Facebook. Have a great day, guys.